Welcome to the Growing Your Business podcast. This is the show that dives into the big question, what's in it for me, for both the business and its customers? On each episode, we sit down with a business owner or leader to uncover their why, their values, and the stories that drive them to grow their business. So joining me today on the Growing Your Business podcast is Andrew Kabanek of Shower Doors of Dallas. Andrew, awesome to have you in the studio today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So tell me, what does Shower Doors of Dallas do? Like, what do you do?
Well, it's kind of self-explanatory.
It should be obvious, but
yeah, we do specialize in custom frameless shower glass.
Nice.
Really taking out those old framed metal, gunky, nasty ones and just putting in those nice, easy to clean shower doors.
What would you say sets you apart?
Our biggest thing is we do offer a lifetime warranty on our frameless enclosures. We're the only company I'm aware of that offers a lifetime warranty. We do that because we know that if you're designing them the way that we're going to design them and utilizing the hardware the way that the hardware is supposed to be utilized, you'll be able to stand behind that product for the life of it. Because we are very particular about how we design and how we install, we're able to do that.
So what's the challenge with designing? I'm a layman. I was like,
sure.
I take showers, hopefully you can tell, but it's, to me, a shower is a shower, right? So, but I know it's so much more complicated.
There is. I mean, for instance, there's a lot of code stipulations that go into it, door sizes, things like that, limitations on how close your glass can get to, say, your commode, things like that. A lot of those factors come into play when we're designing, because we have to look at that. Whatever we put in there, one, we have to make sure it's legal. And two, we have to make sure it's something that's going to last. You never want to put something in that's, you got to go back and service multiple times. What's the point of having a lifetime warranty if you're doing that? So we take all these, and obviously, code requirements are there for a reason.
Yeah, safety.
Exactly.
Danger and all that.
Yeah, you got to keep your customer safe. So we strictly stick to all that.
So when you say the word legal, is that code? Because I wouldn't even fathom, like, what is the illegality of shower doors?
Just for a quick example, for instance, code requirements in most municipalities require a door to be no less than 24 inches in width. Now, obviously, there's some grandfathering that goes into that. If you're not redoing the tiles and whatnot, and your existing door is smaller than that, you're kind of stuck with it. You got to go with it. But yeah, if we were to design a shower in a situation where the door got less than 24 inches and say code enforcement comes out and sees that, we're going to be on the hook for replacing it and making it up to code. If you're not tempering your glass when you're installing, by law, it has to be tempered. So it's safety glass. Breaks small pieces. Nobody gets seriously injured. If you're not tempering your glass properly, that's a significant legal issue there that we don't want any part of.
Sure. So, yeah. That's danger. And that's a supplier issue.
Yes, right? That is true. That as far as the tempering goes, yes, that is a supplier issue.
Talk to me about, how do you source your material?
So we do, there are numerous manufacturers for say hardware. Mm-hmm. We do use one of the world's largest suppliers, and that's C.R. Lawrence, but they're one of multiple suppliers we use. Obviously, we have to take into account stock, who has what parts that we need. But shopping around, pricing is always a big deal on who we end up getting our materials through, because we want to stay competitive. We want to be able to compete with all these other big names that are out here, all the 1,000 other glass companies that are in the area. And if we're sourcing from somebody that charges an arm and a leg for it, we can't be competitive. So we did our diligence by shopping around multiple companies and finding the one that can give us the best deal, but also offers the best product. Because again, that lifetime warranty, I don't want to utilize a subpar hardware that is going to give us problems. Customers don't like it when we interfere with their schedule, even the one time we come out to install. So can you imagine, having to interfere with that multiple times? Yeah.
So on that note, I imagine ease of working with you is important for every customer. Talk to me about the customer journey.
So once a customer reaches out to us, they will coordinate a good day and time for myself or one of our other technicians to come out and visit with them. So that way we can do multiple things. We can get measurements. We can really educate our customers. That's probably one of the biggest things for me, is educating customers, because I do this every day. You said it earlier. You don't do it very often. No. You take a shower and that's about it.
I use it, but other than that,
exactly. Yeah. So there are a lot of aspects when it comes to glass or shower installations. When we come out, we really sit down with our customers and educate them. Let them know any and every possibility or possible option that they could utilize in their showers. We'll walk them through the exact design process. So by the time we leave, they've got a good visual of what the shower is going to look like. We walk them through the hardware selection, hardware style, hardware finish, glass type, glass thickness. And then there are a lot of features for glass that are not known by the mass public. For instance, protectants. There are multiple different protectants available to preserve your glass, prevent that hard water.
Oh yeah,
everybody
especially
battles.
Here in North Texas. Oh man,
yeah. Texas has one of the worst hard water problems in the country.
Oh sure.
And but there are a lot of products out there that are available to you to preserve that. And I'm finding that most companies don't talk to their customers about that. They kind of ask them, how tall, what color hardware, and that's it. I like to walk you through, educate you on all the options, let you make a decision on what's best going to fit your situation, rather than me making that assumption for you.
Yeah. So say I walk into the shower and I'm just like, I'm tired of this. This is for all the reasons. Either it's aesthetically yuck, or it's out of date. Something's broken, or something's fading, or something's rusting, or whatnot. How can I prepare myself for our first meeting?
Absolutely. So one of the first questions I like to ask people is just, what did you have envisioned for this project? So I implore people to kind of look around, see what kind of ideas in the shower doors can kind of really speak to you, what you really like, what you don't like. Because we are going to be going through so many options, it just helps us to be able to dial it in and fit what's going to, or find something that's going to fit your style.
Yeah.
Because it's the one room that we see more frequently than anybody else. You know, the primary bathroom, that's usually unseen by most of your guests, but you do have to see it every day. So we want to make sure that you're happy with what you see every day. We'll walk you through all the different options, all the different possibilities for your design, and see what works for you, what works against you, and help you really decide on what's going to fit your situation best.
Stay with us. The Growing Your Business podcast will return right after this. Ready to amplify your brand's voice? At Blue Mike Studios, we transform your ideas into captivating podcasts and videos. Whether you're launching your own show or guest starring on ours, we've got you covered. From recording and editing to social media promotion. With state-of-the-art 4K video and crystal clear audio, your content will shine. We offer guest packages on our podcasts and offer segments from the show for you to share. Or let us help you build your own branded podcast with custom strategy, branding, and full production support. Visit BlueMikeStudios.com today and let your voice be heard. Please check our show notes for sponsorship links and additional details. Now, back to the Growing Your Business podcast with Buddy Broyles. What is a common problem that is happening that would require a call to you?
That's an excellent question. So a lot of times, we all know that the soil around North Texas isn't the most solid. So lots of shifting. We get a lot of calls if your door's getting stuck, or it's not closing all the way, or you're getting an excess amount of water coming out of your current enclosure. Things like that are probably the most pronounced items that will spur people to give us a call. even if your glass is just foggy and you're having trouble getting it clean, give us a call. We can come out and we can talk to you about options to prevent that from happening in the future. So no matter what product you put in there, you're protected.
That's excellent. What's the favorite part about your job?
Honestly, my favorite thing is whenever I get out and I'm able to help somebody really solve an issue. Bathrooms are like snowflakes, no two are alike, as are people. And I really find my passion in meeting with those people that maybe have some sort of mobility issue or concern of getting in, being able to comfortably get in and out of the shower, helping them really solve a problem, something that would make their life a lot easier. That's where I get my joy. Don't get me wrong. I love helping people no matter what.
Sure.
But it's those aspects where somebody really has a true need for my design help. That's where I really get the most joy.
Sure.
Solving those issues.
I can see while you're talking about this, there's someone that comes to mind. I can't imagine how many customers you've had, but there are always people that stand out that they had a problem or they just weren't happy and you solved it. Tell me a couple of those.
Yeah. So actually last year I was working with an older couple, more experienced couple. The wife was suffering from dementia, and obviously we all know the issues that come with that. Yeah, so we needed to be able to design a nice, solid, safe shower for her to be able to utilize, and no concern with having any problems or her not being able to properly utilize it. She also had some issues where mobility, she didn't have the best grip, things like that. So we had to really dial in the design on even the handle, making sure that the handle that we put on the door would work for her. So I honestly, I brought out all the handles that we had her hold them, test them, and just really make sure, and spent a lot of time just one-on-one with her and her husband to make sure that everything that we designed was going to fit not just her, but him as well, because he goes in there, he assists her, he helps her out. That's one that's probably the most recent one that really speaks to me. But I've had a few instances like that where, I mean, there's another incident where I went out and met with a lady that had a son that had MS, and he needed to be able to get his wheelchair through.
Sure.
A lot of people don't realize this, but I am CAP certified.
Good to know.
Aging in place services. So I was able to help them bring in those ADA specifications to make this shower work for him. And, gave him the right size doors to be able to get his wheelchair through, things like that. And I guess maybe that course is what really kind of sparked that finding joy in that aspect of that, is just realizing that people have a physical need that we take for granted that they need help solving. And that really is my passion, my joy.
That's terrific. How long have you been in business?
So the Shower Doors of Dallas, we've been here in the Dallas location for about 11, almost 12 years now.
Oh, yeah. You've been at it a while.
Yeah, we've been here for quite a while. We did open up an Austin location. Okay, so that one was probably about 7 years ago. Okay. That we did that location. I take that back. That was probably closer to about 8 years ago.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's just the two locations, and I've been with the company for going on 11 years now. Yeah. I started here at the Dallas location, moved to Austin, did that for a while, and then came back to DFW.
That's important to know, because I have friends and family that are both in Dallas and Austin, and if we find someone that does what you do well, we want to make sure that we have the opportunity in both cities. So,
absolutely.
Location matters.
Absolutely. And we are kind of planning and gearing up for San Antonio location. So, but yeah. And we get contractors and builders that have that same thought process. Yeah. I've got builders and contractors that do work here and Austin, and they use us in both locations. But it's because we stand behind it,
Wonderful. What's the best way to reach you?
I would say that the best way for people to get a hold of us, the easiest way would probably just be through our website. You can go to our website. It's goframeless.com and just look us up there. And you can take a look at some of our portfolio pictures and check us out on some of our previous works there. All of our contact information is there as well. But take a moment, look at the website and build that idea, that vision that you want, and then give us a call and we'll come out and we'll talk to you and make that vision become real life.
Terrific. And for people who are just, you can say you're not satisfied with your shower or some of the things you mentioned, but at some point you need to call somebody, for people that are on the fence, tell them why they should call you.
Give me a call because again, I'm not a high pressure salesman. You're not going to get a used car salesman in your house trying to shove glass down your throat.
Right.
We're really just focused on education. If nothing else, I understand you want to shop around and whatnot. Let me come out there. Let me educate you and let me talk to you about what's available to you and take a look at some of the other guys, see how they educate, if they're, what kind of services they offer, warranties, things like that.
So what I'm hearing is that the client education is the number one thing.
Yeah, I would say so. Because I go out of my way to make sure that you really understand every product that's available so that, again, you can make that best decision for your situation. You're going to have to deal with this project every day of your life. And I want to make sure ultimately what we do, you're happy with it every time you use it. So give me a call. Let me talk you through or walk you through that whole process. And then, I'm the general manager. So if I come out and talk to you, I don't get paid this different for any, picking one option over the other. I'm not in it for that. I want to help you. I want to help you make the right decision for your bathroom.
That's terrific. And things like these, it's so important to hire a specialist, someone that knows what they're doing. If you have a general contractor, at the very least, they should contact someone like you that has your skill level, with Shower Doors of Dallas, because you're a specialist. And this isn't a general thing. This is very specific, and it needs somebody that has, like you said, the warranty that you offer.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And if you're not willing to stand behind it, then why do the work?
Right. Well, Andrew, thank you for coming in and sharing your passion for what you do. And of course, the history that you have in this business and specialization for shower doors.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate your time.
Thank you for joining us today on the Growing Your Business podcast. Please see the show notes for links to our sponsors, our social media, and to learn more about today's guest.